So unfortunately, we have arrived at the villa. The villa itself isn't bad. It's actually quite a cool, a little bit like hipster place to record from. Um, Gym is down there, swimming pool area, uh, basketball thing down there. But the internet speed is atrocious. It's 4 megabytes per second, and like I checked this prior to ordering, of course, and they said it was like 500 megabyte per second internet speed, but it turns out that was a complete lie. So complete waste of time, which is a shame because it is actually quite a cool space, cinema in here. But yeah, now it's back to the drawing board, finding a new location, and it puts us at like a bit of a disadvantage as well, because now I have to book like a last minute place, and it's kind of hard to find places like this. And yeah, like I said, it's a little bit sad. I really feel that it kind of had like huge, it had a lot of potential. This really could be a good place, but and also as soon as you step outside, there's no Wi-Fi connection at all. So there's literally just no chance in making it happen. So yeah, I will update you when we find a new location. So I just thought I would record like I guess a final debrief of how the actual project went, and it definitely didn't go to plan. I think it's safe to put it that way. Um, what actually happened was, so I found this great villa, and I just sort of thought that I would take a shot on it. I'd had this idea for a while. This villa presented itself on Airbnb. It was available for like 25K per month on Airbnb, so I know that like I could most likely negotiate that down by quite a significant amount once I met with them in person and offered them like a long-term rental agreement. And it had, on paper, it kind of had everything needed. And I spoke to them beforehand to like check out the logistics. Someone was already staying in the apartment, so I couldn't actually physically go and check, and they wouldn't reserve it for me. So I was just I hastily made a reservation just so that I didn't miss out on the on the villa. And of course, it turned out that they were completely wrong, and there was literally no Wi-Fi. As soon as you took like 2 steps outside the building, there was no internet whatsoever. So the possibility of having girls kind of doing like a more of a reality TV show and kind of streaming it online, with the girls out by the pool and so on, instantly became out of the question. Um, and so then I quickly booked like another villa. There was not villa, sorry. I booked like another penthouse apartment, like a last minute booking. Took that for 1 month. We packed up from the villa, moved over to the next location, and it wasn't ideal. It wasn't like anything close to what I was talking about before, but it would definitely have worked as like a content house. There was a 2 stories, jacuzzi, like fireplace outside on like the rooftop, 3 bedrooms. So you could also have the girls doing kind of like webcam style shows as well. And this is where the story gets pretty eventful. It was the second night in the evening. There were 2 models working in the house, and when I say working, they were literally just creating TikToks. There was no adult content shot within the apartment at all. And there was one other model who came to visit today on that day that I just registered the Onlyfans profile for. And we went through the ID verification and everything. And I got a knock on the door from the police at, it must have been about 7 p.m. And I don't speak any Spanish at all. But anyway, like we were communicating, and they had a report that there were underage girls in the apartment. I think it was a neighbor. They said it was a neighbor who reported that there were underage girls coming in and out of the apartment. Of course, all of the girls are over 18. You need to be over 18 to open an OnlyFans profile, and OnlyFans handles the verification. And of course, I've seen all of their IDs myself. But then in the back of my mind, when the police are knocking at the door, and I started to think, has one of them shown me a fake ID or something? Um, and I started thinking, actually, like, no way there. Like, I don't know, started doubting myself for a minute. Of course, like, with like my rational mind, I know that it's not the case at all, and we weren't even shooting any pornography. So I knew it was just like a kind of like a nosy neighbor, let's say, reporting it. And then like my girlfriend started kind of giving like attitude, and I'm thinking I can see this situation going bad very, very quickly, considering she doesn't speak any, and like it's a terrible thing to do when police are there. They're just trying to do their job. They've had a report that there's an underage girl in an apartment. Of course, like, you want to be somewhere where the police are actually going to go and check up on that. And anyway, my girlfriend was being like bitchy, and I was trying to tell her to stop. And everything was fine. Like, of course, the girls came down, they showed their IDs to the police, and the police said, like, okay, it's fine, you can continue, like, there's no problem. They left. And then about an hour and a half later, or about an hour later perhaps, like, the door, I got a knock on the door again, and this time it was the apartment owner who had a report that the police had shown up, and he had been told by the security. Of course, we'd just proven that the girls are under 18, because I wasn't over 18, sorry. Because of course, like, I wasn't arrested, and everything was fine, but the security still told the apartment owner that we were shooting underage pornography. The apartment owner came back. He was like very calm, for considering what the situation was. I know that if someone called me and said that there was a underage porn movie being shot in my apartment, I don't think I would have been half as relaxed as he was. But anyway, he just kind of very politely asked us to leave. I'm not sure if he believed what I was saying, to be honest. But anyway, I just completely respected his decision. So we packed up, and then we left, and we moved somewhere else. So